everyone, welcome to the Football Terrace. We're here in Doha, Qatar. You guys can see all the hustle and bustle behind us. We have big games here in Qatar for the World Cup semifinals, but before we get into the games, we're going to be talking about Premier League, doing a little bit of catch up on what's been going on in terms of transfers for, the Premier League. I have Terry here with me. He's no longer in charge of the Football Terrace. It's now my place. How are you, Terry?
It's good. It's good not to be the host of a show or picking the talking points, location, and everything else. So over to you, Jessica Black.
Yeah, over to me now. All right, you guys, before we get started, make sure you download the One Football app. It's your one-stop shop for live scores, transfer news, statistics, and everything, and also live Serie A matches. Make sure you guys download it. Do it right now. Now, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with some Chelsea news. Rafael Leao. Chelsea are looking to put in a $100 million bid for Rafael Leao. What do you think about that deal? What do you think about Leao? Are you convinced by him? Let's start off with that.
Look, I am convinced by him. I think he is a tremendous talent. I think he's so gifted. He can carry the ball, he can dribble, he can go inside and out, he can score goals. He's had a tremendous start this season to life in Serie A. Brilliant in some of the Champions League games we've watched him in as well, and we were covering them together this season. So I think there's a real talent, a real player in there. Did he have the best of World Cups? No, but I think he should have been played from the start of games. Is he worth 100 million? I would say in the modern day game, yes. Now AC Milan are pushing for 150 million. That's far too much money. However, the price of players rises all the time. If he comes into Chelsea and he starts to score, he starts to assist, he moves that needle, they start winning games, he's worth every single penny.
I don't know. So for me, I don't think he's quite worth maybe the 100 million price tag. I think that's maybe inflated just a little bit. But is this the type of move that you've been talking about all this time for Todd Boehly that makes you think that Chelsea are going in the right direction?
Yes, because Rafael Leao, although he's a name that everybody's heard of, he's a growing star in the game, he's young. And that's why the money for me is fine, because he'll have sell-on value if it doesn't work. They'll recoup some of the money, even if he does a bit of a Nicolas Pepe as an example. There'll be money to be made because he's young. Equally, though, if this works with what they're trying to build, the amount of young players that they've already purchased, this is the player that could give you 10 years. So suddenly, if he works out and he's a star player, that's £10 million a year for a decade. Now, just on how good he is now, he's worth £10 million a year, right, in terms of transfer fee. So, for me, it's good business because there's future sell-on value. You can get money back if he doesn't succeed. But I think there's a massive chance that he's a huge hit for Chelsea Football Club.
I like that. Chelsea fans, let us know in the comment section what you think about Rafael Leao. Is this the type of player you want to see come into Chelsea in January? Is he too expensive? Is he just the right price? Is this what you want to see from Todd Boehly? Let us know in the comment section. So, moving on to a club close to your heart, Manchester United. Amazon, looking like they want to maybe acquire Manchester United. Is that the type of ownership that you would be looking for?
Yes, yes, yes. For me, Amazon would be my #1 choice to buy Manchester United.
Not a Ratcliffe, not...
No. Amazon, for me, I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't like how they treat their delivery drivers. They don't pay tax. They write tax in certain countries. Listen, as a business, they succeed beyond all others, in my opinion. They are one of the most incredibly run organizations in the world as far as creating success. Ethically, there's going to be issues, but let's not beat about the bush. Any billionaire ownership, we can find ethical issues with them. So I'm not going to delve into that because it's pointless. It's just a game of top trumps, and I can't be bothered with doing it. Amazon owning Manchester United moves the needle incredibly. We'd be the richest club in the world because we've got the richest owner in the world. Bezos is the richest man in the world. Equally, with the technology, the money, and then the influence that Amazon has as an organization in the world, that for us it will allow exponential growth. The types of sponsorships we'll get, the level of commercial revenue that will grow means Man United will have more money than anybody else in the world, zero debt, and they will run the club right. They will run the club right.
How likely do you think this is to happen?
How likely right now? Look, reading the reports, if I'm going to give it a percentage, I'd say 40–50%.
Okay.
But at this moment in time, we don't know how serious anybody is because everybody is staying tight-lipped. Amazon are refusing to speak, and they have to. Because if Amazon open up their mouths and go, yes, we want to buy it, the price starts to skyrocket. And they don't want, nobody wants to overpay. It's now estimated that there's over £1 billion of debt against Man United, not with the banks for the loans, but player debts, money owed to players, money owed to clubs. It totals at near £1 billion. And they want to ensure they're getting the club as cheap as possible to write those debts off and be able to move on from there.
Well, I will be canceling my Amazon Prime the moment that Amazon buy Manchester United.
But that's also what I love about it. If Amazon Prime take over Man United, all of you out there using Amazon products, you're making Man United better.
I'm canceling immediately.
But you know what's funny? Because you're one of these people, same with KJ behind the camera, who are like, there's nothing wrong with me buying a PSG shirt. No, I've always told you. You should never buy another club's anything. You should never buy their sponsored stuff because you are furthering the endeavors of your rivals. So I can't wait to see you all cancel everything Amazon. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
Okay. Manchester United fans, let us know in the comment section what you think about Amazon potentially taking over Manchester United. Is this the type of ownership that you're looking for? And if not, who would you rather take over for Manchester United? Let us know in the comment section. Moving on to the other club in Manchester, Manchester City. Look like they're closing in on or trying to acquire Joško Gvardiol for 110 million euros in January. Now, It's not to bring him in January. They want to let him stay at RB Leipzig for the rest of the season, then bring him in the summer. Is this the type of big money move that makes people feel like other clubs cannot keep up with Manchester City? They're already second place. I mean, it's not like they're way behind Arsenal. Bringing in somebody like Gvardiol, already bringing in Haaland, is this kind of what people are talking about when they say we cannot compete?
It is what people are talking about, but people are wrong. All of our clubs are owned by billionaires, and there's only a certain amount of money that clubs can pump, the owners can pump in themselves. It's about 30 to 35 million a year. All of our owners can afford to do that. So whenever you hear a fan of a club say, we just can't compete with City, no, what you mean is your club is smaller than City is and doesn't have the commercial income, or your owners are not as dedicated. So everybody can compete with Man City. They're allowed to spend this money. There's no issues with it. However, if Gvardiol goes to City, that means somebody's leaving. It won't be John Stones, he's too good. It looks like Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz, to me, has really started to fade away from those sort of Van Dijk conversations of 18 months ago. We saw him at the Euros. It was one of the most sketchiest players in that Portugal team. He's been average. You've basically got John Stones, Akanji right now, killing it for Man City. So I think it's going to be Ruben Diaz.
I think it's going to be Laporte. I think it's going to be Laporte because he is the left-footed guy on that side, and he also is linked with Barcelona.
He could go out there, but they only play with two centre-backs. And you've got Ake there as well. So for me, I think that Ruben Diaz's time at the club could be coming to an end because I think Akanji has gone in there and shocked people. People just thought he was going to be this no mark on the bench covering a few games. Yeah. He has been absolutely sensational. So I'm intrigued to see who and what and where. But Gvardiol, he is brilliant. I know Chelsea want him. I know Man United want him. But if City get him, what a scoop that would be.
100%. You guys in the comment section, let us know what you think about Gvardiol, one of the best young players in the World Cup so far. Definitely a standout for Croatia. Is that the type of player that Manchester City should be going for? Or would it be a better choice for Chelsea, Manchester United? Let us know in the comment section. Now, last but certainly not least, we're going to talk a little bit about Arsenal and the link to João Félix. There's been credible reports today that Arsenal are leading the race for João Félix. Is this the type of move that you've been talking about the Cronkies need to do in order to show that they're serious?
Yes, yeah, it is. Arsenal have a tremendous chance. As Ben Jacobs told us 2 days ago, the Arsenal Football Club, at that point, he said, are not the front runners right now, but they are seriously advanced on the personal side. And what we know, typically with transfers, is that the personal terms get agreed before the deals with the football clubs get done. Arsenal Football Club need to be making signings like this because firstly, he moves the needle. Secondly, he becomes the best attacker on paper because you never quite know how someone delivers in the Prem, but he becomes the best attacker at Arsenal.
Better than Jesus.
I think,
with no track record, really.
I think, listen, he has been, I think his name has been, not destroyed, but I think we haven't seen him showcase himself because even Santos at Portugal, definitely Simeone at Ati, they don't play the kind of football that I think João Félix needs to express himself. Mikel Arteta does. Mikel Arteta plays a beautiful, open, flamboyant, attacking style of football. João Félix will come alive. When I say better, I'm talking purely on ability. You have to deliver against that ability. But I think he comes in and he's, on paper, the best attacker at Arsenal. And I think he moves the needle massively, and the Kroenke should be fighting heaven and earth to get this deal done for you guys.
Why a João Félix over somebody like Mudryk? Mudryk seems to be the other name floating around, but some people want Mudryk because, you know, he's a winger, but some people want João Félix because of the name. What, for you personally, who's the better fit?
Because of the injury to Gabriel Jesus, and then suddenly this availability in January of João Félix, you have to change your plans. No brilliant business, and that's what football clubs have to run like businesses. No business on this planet sees an opportunity in the market open and say, well, we can't take this opportunity because it wasn't on our plans 3 weeks ago. You have to be fluid, you have to be agile. In sport, business, life, education, religion, whatever it may be, you have to have an agility about you to change and move, to focus on something new that will improve your surroundings. And that is what Arsenal need to do, because João Félix is a better footballer than Mudryk. Go back for Mudryk in the summer. Go get it done in the summer if you have to. Right now, you've got your best attacker out for 3 months. You've got an even better player potentially available for about 80 million. Go and get him. And I think you're more attractive than the other teams that are looking at him. Change the plan slightly, bring in this powerhouse, and go and win that first Premier League title in nearly 20 years.
Yeah, I do think Arsenal could potentially, no, actually, I'm going to say it with chest. I think Arsenal will win the league if they bring in João Félix, because I think it's the type of move that pushes the needle that much. No, I think it does. I think there's certain types of players that you bring in that buoy the entire team.
Yeah.
You know, it shows that you're serious. If you bring in a Mudryk, another young player that might be a little bit raw, maybe that's not really what the other players will look at and say, like, okay, they're really serious. You bring in João Félix, I do think the levels will go up. So I think João Félix would be a good choice for Arsenal.
I don't disagree. And what I would say about Arsenal is this. You've got PSG that was seen as the front runners. Now, we know that Fabrizio Romano and Ben Jacobs have said that Fabrizio said there's no front runners, and Ben Jacobs said a few days ago that Arsenal was slightly behind, but lots changes. A lot changes. Arsenal are now being reported as the front runners, and they should be. Because who else is looking at him? You've seen Villa, who have been linked. They've now been pushed out of the water. Man United, but we're behind Arsenal right now. Chelsea, I think Arsenal are in front of them right now in terms of desirability. And you've got PSG. And I'm going to be blunt. They may have Mbappe, they may have Lionel Messi, they may have Neymar. But Arsenal's a better fit, and I'll tell you why. You're in the Premier League. Just put Arsenal aside for a moment. Firstly, let's start that again. Arsenal are a bigger, more famous club than PSG. Facts. Secondly, the Premier League. No disrespect to the other guys in League 1. People watch the highlights. People watch the YouTube clips. Nobody's watching that league. Look at the global viewing figures versus the Premier League night and day. Come to Arsenal Football Club, play for Mikel Arteta, be in the biggest league in the world. And João Félix, I promise you, your fame, your stardom, your notoriety in the game will go to another level. Go to PSG, and you're going to be right down the pecking order at that football club. You may not even start a match. You may not even start a match, and that means you're going to be on the bench in a league where you're being watched less. For me, it would be a stupid decision to go to PSG. It wouldn't be as bad as going to Assi, where it's going to be horrible football, but it would be another career suicidal move. So I would say this, if you've got a choice between Arsenal, Chelsea, Villa, PSG, right now, João Félix, you pick Arsenal.
I agree. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. This was a fun show. Make sure you guys download the OneFootball app, like I said at the top of the show.
It's free as well, right? The OneFootball app.
Yeah, it's completely free, and yeah, you get everything that you need. Like I said at the top of the show, Terry, thank you so much for being here with me.
No problem. I just was walking around and the football terrace wanted me. It was good.
I get you to say thank you, like everybody else. Thank you so much for being here with me. You guys make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.